Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to do deck profile on my Bermuda Triangle Legion deck. So Bermuda Triangle did get one of the promo Legion campaign cards. This one, you had to go to a local that had these, and then you had to use a Legion deck. But there's a lot of places that are just giving these cards out. You don't really have to have a Legion deck as long as you just participate. So just depends on where you're located and what the policy is in the card shop. But anyway, for this deck, so basically Bermuda Triangle, I don't know what happened all of a sudden, like since Red came out, and they're like, okay, we're going to start giving Bermuda Triangle a bunch of restanding Vanguards. So this is another Legion that restands. Basically, it's a very generic effect. Counterblast 3, discard 3, restand all your Vanguard for that turn. It's at the end of the battle that you attack the Vanguard. So, Rising Star Trois, she is pretty good. She breathes a lot of much needed life back into the Riviere deck, which I'm real happy that they chose Riviere over like Pacifica or something like that. I never really was a big fan of Pacifica. I always like Riviere more. And also, if I had to pick a different Bermuda Triangle Grade 3 that they could have gave the Legion to, it would have been Reindeer. But just imagine if Reindeer was the one that was the Legion mate with this, then the deck might be super good because drive checking Grade 3s, yeah. Anyway, so this is the first Legion with a ride chain. So that's unique, and it restands. So it's actually pretty good. It generates a lot of pressure. It's a really good deck. The only downside to it is it doesn't play like a typical Bermuda Triangle deck, where there's not a lot of ways to bounce cards back. Riviere's problem was that she never had a way to bounce rear guards back to the hand, so they could never get their effects off. Kind of like Pacifica. Pacifica's Cross Ride did fix that, and the Break Ride sort of also fixed it. But that was the main downfall of Riviere compared to like Reindeer and some of the others, like the Duos and the Prisms. But anyway, so to fix that problem, to make it not just the beatdown deck, which is what the Riviere build was, we have to play rear guards that allow you to bounce cards back. So besides the full ride chain, which I am running, because why wouldn't you? It just helps the deck be a lot more consistent. And the ride chain effect, if you get to pull it off, it helps you draw cards early. So for Super Isle Riviere, because we need to compensate for the inability of the Vanguard to bounce cards back, we need rear guard to have that effect. So for that, I'm running 4 Pearl Sisters Perla. This was also a card that debuted when Riviere was new. So this one's really good. It's a really good choice. And then 3 Flutes just to hit the numbers when you have full field or just about full field. It's either going to be this or Top Idle Aqua or Ligurian, the 10k vanillas. But I would choose this just because 11 without a boost, well, like if this is, typically your whole field is full except for Flute and then whatever is not behind her. So the open R would be behind Flute. So she can still swing for 11 in that scenario. So that's why I chose her over Top Isle Aqua. But if you want, you can run the 10k vanilla. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, this is the Grade 2 lineup. For Grade 1s, 4 Mermaid Idle Riviere for the ride chain skill. And then 3 Pearl Sisters Perle. I really wanted to run 4 of this just to see the effect live. This basically grants the Girls Rock Rio effect to the sister. So you can keep cycling these back to the hand, using them again and again, or using them as a shield, depending on what you need to do. So that's basically this is the engine for bouncing cards and gaining advantage. So that's why I kind of want to run 4 of these, but it is really hard to fit the 4th one in because I am having to run 3 dual clear Parasol Kura. The reason why we run 3 of her is because the Legions, if you want to pull the Legion skill off multiple turns in the match, because it's a Counterblast 3, you need to, it's very essential to unflip, basically, and you'll be gaining a lot of soul, because there are soul charge skills like this one, you can Legion over Legion, stuff like that. So, plus the starter stays in the soul from the beginning. So Kura is a good choice to unflip to, just to enable you to use the limit break skill more than once, or not the limit break skill, the Legion skill. So that's why 3 of this I think is really important. Originally I was running 2 and 4 of the sister, but I really think that 3 is the ideal amount that you need in order to get the Legion skill off. as much as possible. And then I am running 1 Quintet Wall and 3 Perfect Guards, all of different kinds. So the Quintet Wall is good just in Legion in general. 1 card block, fill up for Legion, and then so you can send the triggers back. And then these 3 are just staple. For the grade 0s, it's very straightforward. It's 4 of the Margot clone draw trigger, just for building up soul, so you can use Kura and get the effect off, get the Legion effect off again. Plus, it gives 3k to something. So it makes, like, if you don't have an ideal field at that point, if you need to, you can turn Flute into an 11k with that. So it works. Or you can just give it to Perla, depending on whichever one's on the field. And then 8 critical, because criticals work in this deck without needing to run the stand triggers. Really, for stand triggers, the only Bermuda Triangle deck that I think that can benefit from stands is the old Reindeer deck, which was probably still is my favorite one. But anyway, 8 critical, 4 draw, and then 4 heal, and then the starter is the starter for the ride chain. So one thing I would change, possibly, I may run 12 critical because it is a restanding Vanguard. Restanding Vanguards with 12 critical are just really insanely good. I mean, look at Minerva. But the Margot clone, it's kind of helpful in certain situations. That's why I still run it. Plus, the Riviere doesn't really, it's not as reliable at bouncing stuff back to your hand, so, you know, the hand size thing. But anyway, guys, that's the deck for now. Let me know what you would change if you'd still insist on running 2 Kura instead of 3. I just know that I've played the deck enough to run into situations where I needed the Kura just to get the Legion skill. And then the opponent always never really expects this card at the right time, and then it always shows up at the right time when I have 3. But I think this is pretty much the clutch card of the deck that makes it work. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.